Hi everyone, if you don't know me by now, my name is AJ. You can follow me, hashtag outside_AJ. And a lot of people ask me why did I move to West Virginia? And there's a lot of different reasons on the why. But most importantly is just wanted to change a life. We were living in Pennsylvania, wanted to get out of Pennsylvania. After 2020 and the whole lockdown thing, a lot of people had a lot of things to think about, and one thing was a better quality of life. And so had a lot of places in mind. Was looking at Colorado, was looking at Texas, was looking at Las Vegas, off the strip, away from the strip, the local area. And we kind of thought about West Virginia, and it's like, if you're not from West Virginia, a lot of people might think of it some type of way because it's a very small state. So we decided, and we found a place, and I took a trip. I'm not gonna lie, the first two places that I looked at in West Virginia, we decided to rent first because if we didn't like it, then it wasn't no real huge obligation to leave. And the first two places that I looked at, I'm not gonna lie, I told a lot of people in West Virginia, because they asked to, why come here, and the places was just, I'm not gonna lie, they were horrible in my opinion. So that kind of had some thoughts in my head, like, are all the rental units like this? Is this how they rent in West Virginia? We looked up, you did try to do as much research as possible before you just pack up and go somewhere. And one of the things that I kind of liked about that I read in West Virginia is that is a landlord friendly state. So it's not hard to evict people, things of that nature, but some people are going to take that to their full advantage, and if people don't have nowhere else to go, and they're gonna rent wherever they're gonna rent. So with that said, we didn't get the first two places, but then took another trip and found another place. And from the outside, it didn't look too good. On the inside, first impressions was okay. And it was just little small problems, and but that's not what this video is about. This video is about why West Virginia. And this is February, so I believe that about 2 years in here. And I'm not going to say that I love it, but I like it a lot, if that makes sense. I like the laws here. The people, pretty friendly, semi. So I'm still learning. So I'm still meeting people. So anyway, but that's part of the reason it's affordable. It's close to. It borders 5 states, I believe. It borders Kentucky. It borders Ohio. It borders Virginia. That's 3. It borders Maryland. That's 4. And it borders Pennsylvania. That's 5. So it's a small state, but you're surrounded by 5 different states, and you can pretty much get to, depending on where you're located, you can get to any of those states within a couple hours. So it's always, even if you feel like it's nothing to do in West Virginia, you can always take that trip and go to a different state. I'm in and out of Pittsburgh, and that's another reason why. Is because it's more affordable to live here in West Virginia than it is in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is one of the fastest growing tech cities. Pittsburgh is also a beautiful city. I'm not going to lie. I heard a lot of things about Pittsburgh. Every major city has their, quote unquote, their hood. And it took me a good year, I want to say, a good year or a little bit more than a year to even bump into the hood. And found, they have a couple different hoods. I didn't really get a chance to really mingle. But I plan to just, that's where you find the best food. Wherever you go, the best food is where the less, I don't want to say poor areas, but the hood. Whatever the best food is in the hood. You get the best, you get the better deals in the hood. And sometimes you get a better quality or more sincere, genuine people in the hood. Yeah, you get what you get, and people going to be people wherever you go. But I'm just saying, from my experience, this is what I learned from traveling a lot. So those was some of the reasons. Another reason is you have to look at it like this. West Virginia is a lot of land. It's a lot of land, and I'm going to get into some land sales, so follow me. Okay, but there's a lot of land in West Virginia. So, and you look at the United States on the map. You look at the East Coast. You have your New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Philly. Down all the way down to Florida. And Washington D.C. is is kind of considered east, southern east, or the DMV. So when you start thinking about like the other day, you had a balloon that floated over China sent a balloon floating over the country. It makes you think about things. How did that balloon even make it across the water to even, but anyway. So you start thinking about stuff and start saying, well, you know what? West Virginia is not that far where if something was to happen, my family and friends or whatever from over the East Coast or wherever, they can make it here to West Virginia within a few hours. Okay, so I'm kind of doing like the safe haven thing. I'm trying to be, we're trying to be like a safe haven provider, kinda. So that way, if a disaster happens, something like that, it's less likely to happen in West Virginia. It's less likely. I mean, you have a lot of oil and gas companies. Is one of the biggest coal mine areas. A lot of people, from what I learned, when they went to go train and around the country to be certified and whatever you need to be in coal industry or whatever, they had to come to West Virginia for their certification. So that's the main economy here is oil, gas, and coal. Natural resources is the economy. But I mean, other than that, when you think of everything that's going on and the places that is going on at, for the most part, you think of 9/11 New York. Philly is the original birthplace of America. So you have to think about that also. If terrorists really or something, or some type of war was to really happen, West Virginia, in my belief, would be, I'm not going to say last on that list, but because a lot of people don't really, think of West Virginia like that. And then you have your Dakotas, your North and South Dakota. I'm not familiar, so I really can't say. Your Wyomings and all those type of places. In Montana, you don't hear a lot of different things, in certain states. So in my opinion, it's kind of like a safe zone, and you look at the weather, you still get your snow. The state is like Mason-Dixon type state. So, part of it is more, they consider themselves more like Midwest. It is kind of in the Midwest, but you're close to Kentucky too. You got to remember, so it borders Ohio, it borders Pennsylvania, like I said, Virginia, and you're close to in the borders Kentucky. So I mean, that was something that, to try to think about. The cost of living low. It's a decent sized state where, you should be able to, network a lot. And since I've been here, been in different cities, different towns, got a lot of different experiences since I've been here. But yeah, that's another reason. You know, just being somewhere that's safe. It's not as violent. You know, you're paying a lot for rent in the bigger cities, and you're paying all this money to duck bullets. You know, Chicago was on the list. You know, Chicago. Went out there a few times, and the times that I went, you know, I love Chicago. Chicago is I think it's the third biggest city in the country. The third biggest city in the country. The downtown is beautiful downtown. You know, you have like a lake, and you know, I'm pretty sure it's Lake Michigan. But you have the lake downtown. You know, the area, the setup is I love Chicago. You still got that big city feel. You have the trains and the stadiums, and you know, and I'm not gonna lie, some of the property is not as expensive as it is in your New York or in your Philly, in Philly and in Cali. You know, it's not that as expensive, but you know, but then it gets cold out there. You know, it's the windy city. So that was one of the things that, you know, still kind of looking, you know, for another spot. So, you know, by next winter, when the snow, once I get that first chill, you know, it's time to get up out of here and go to somewhere where you know, I don't need a coat and a jacket and all this different stuff, you know. So and that's another thing, you know, just trying to find somewhere where it's not as cold as now like today, a day like today, it's raining outside. It rains a lot in West Virginia, but the flip side of that is, like I said, there's a lot of land, so there's a lot of farms, you know, and since I moved away kind of from so first moved here and moved in Fairmont, West Virginia. Technically it was Westchester, I believe, West Virginia, and that sits between a couple other cities. But it was more, like I said, city. Now I'm more in the country area, which is you know, you can't beat it. People are a little bit more friendlier. You got to keep in mind, any small town, small place you go is generally the same mentality generally. So you got to keep that in mind if you're coming from a big city. It's a 360, you know, what you're used to out of people, you know, it's just different, you know. But anyway, but yeah, so you have farms, so you can, you know, it's people that sells they have chickens. You sell the eggs from their chickens. Is people that farm, and I'm learning that they farm on different people's property. So that way, if they run out of space on their own farm, they use other people's property to farm on. So you know, we got a lot of free. I got some venison, some deer meat that I'm gonna teach. I figured out how to get the gamey taste out of it, but I'm gonna use my true chef skills. I'm gonna make this deer meat interesting. I'm gonna put a city twist on it, and I'm gonna make it interesting. And keep following me for that, because that's gonna be pretty decent. But yeah, I mean, anyway, so that's part of the reasons why to move here. You know, we can farm our own stuff. Don't have to depend on Walmart. Don't have to depend on a grocery store. If we grow our own food, and we can always share with different farmers that have meat and dairy. If that's the route that we decide to go. And that's where it's at. You know, I'd rather support the local guy anyway. Why not support my neighbor before I support a big chain that don't, you know, you can't go on Walmart and say, hey, you know, can I, you know, I'm hungry, can I borrow some eggs till, you know, you can't do that. And that's why I'm so, you small business owners, this is why I just want to help you. You know, I can, you know, with my tech stuff, I can get big tech, and it's a shame because I have to mix up the bigger companies with my platforms, because it's hard trying to explain to some of you the importance of you promoting your business and stuff like that. But I truly care about small business. I've been in business. I've been doing business since 8 years old. I want you to think about this. My first business is when I was 8 years old. No help. My grandmother was my investor. I started out when the chips came in a pack of chips. I got me a little table. I got me some Hug juices. I got me some sodas. I got me some waters. And I set up, I realized there was a demand from where I live. It was a long street. And a lot of people had to walk past my house. I'm 8, okay? A lot of people had to walk past my house in order to go to the store, which was another block. We had a couple of them around the corner and stuff like that. So, I looked at it as my peers could just buy the chips and buy the sodas and drinks from me, the snacks and stuff. I had candy, so I truly am an advocate for small business, and I truly want to help small business. So if I'm coming to you and I'm saying anything about, a lot of businesses don't understand tech. It changes so much. Who has the time unless you're doing it, unless you're in it? But it's a major part of your business, and I don't care if you think that your business is doing good right now because of the reputation of your business. After a while, you're going to need to integrate some type of technology to your business. For an example, when we was all locked up a couple years ago, this 2023, it was just 3 years ago, the whole planet was locked up. Guess what businesses did well? Guess what businesses skyrocketed? Your Amazons, your DoorDash, your Instacarts. You want me to go on? Your Grubhubs, your GoPuffs. All these businesses rose. They made their most money when we was locked up because they was prepared. They was online and prepared. And what I try to explain to a lot of you is this is what I want to help you do. So I'm going to leave a link in here for my 2 placemaps. It's the second demo version. The official launch is on is in a couple weeks. So that's going to be the official launch. But scroll through there. You want to put your business on there. And you want to contact me and ask me questions that you don't know. You're new, starting out a business, you have a restaurant, you're trying to figure it out. Come talk to me. I'm trying to I gotta live too. So I'm not trying to kill your pockets, but I'm trying to work with as many small business owners and small businesses that I can. But anyway, we kind of went off subject. But that's another reason why I came to West Virginia is to see, about the small businesses and try to help small businesses grow. And I want to bring more people to the state. That's my overall goal. I have family and stuff like that I want to bring them. I want to bring them here. I want to show them, and friends. I want to show them a different way of living. You don't have to pay whatever you're paying for whatever in a big city, and you ducking bullets. You're not being appreciated. It's slow here. It's slower. But when you see these things just getting here, when you start getting these things, you're getting tired of fast. You get tired of that sometimes. When I want to do fast, I can go back to fast. But I want to live here where it's peaceful, quiet. And if anything was to happen the wrong way, guess what? I can grow my food. I'm not dependent on Walmart. I'm not dependent on a grocery store. I'm not dependent on them. If my neighbor has cows and chickens and all that stuff, I can get eggs. if they have tomatoes and potatoes and, you know, mushrooms, I can get that from my neighbors. I don't have to depend on Walmart. And that's why I want to try to get you guys at. So with all that said, kind of went off topic a little bit. Hashtag outside_AJ. Follow me, street photographer. I take VR and AR photos. I haven't really gotten to that yet. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain it to you if you just ask. It's just that easy. Just say, hey, what is AR, VR? It's virtual reality and augmented reality photos. That's what I do. Okay, I do maps and put your business on the map. Anyway, with all that said, peace and blessings. Live from West Virginia. I'm out. This is DoorDash for business. Also hit me up if you need them beats.